Kalle had to make his next move. He got back in contact with Krista Olsen, the journalist who had helped him get access to Henrik's laptop a few years ago. He decided that gathering all the evidence he could and blowing things up in the media might force the authorities into action. He shared the contents of Henrik's notebook and any other information he'd kept to himself so they could formulate a plan. Kalle would continue to embed himself in the Nomads, collecting the names and information on as many people as he had access to. If he could find the smoking gun, maybe they could bring them down for good. As always, if you have been enjoying the series up to this point, drop a like on the video. That would be kind of mad. Just that there's so many of you still watching this series as we come to the very, very end of FM22. Now, today is a big one. We've obviously got league action to talk about, but that's really not going to be the big focus today, because slap bang in the middle of today's video, we have the Conference League final against FC Copenhagen. Can we win our third Conference League of the save with different sides? That wasn't even part of my plan for this save, really. But if we were actually able to win the Conference League with teams from Norway, Sweden, and Denmark in the same save, that would actually be genuinely impressive. But what we have right now is 5 league matches before our game against FC Copenhagen, which is quite a lot of stuff to get through in the rest of this month. Now, my plan is hopefully we can sit ourselves top of the league coming into that. Now, bear in mind, we do currently sit top of the league anyway, despite the fact that we now have 2 games in hand on the teams below us, which makes me wonder what actually happened in that game, because this was the match day that happened while we were busy doing our second leg against Rangers. So you can see Jules Gordon won, EFK won, but I assume other teams have dropped points in there, and Hammarby won as well. Okay, so who's dropped points then? Oh, Kalmar. That was it. Kalmar lost. And as a result, it's very, very congested behind us, but we have a chance to potentially put a 6-point gap between us and everybody else, and that is a big opportunity for us. So let's get into these now, see what happens, and I'll join you guys in a sec for some, some big stuff. It's a good ball through, actually, and a Sifa's in, and it's a great finish, honestly. Wow, that is the perfect start for them, and the worst possible start for us. Unbeaten so far this season, I believe, and we need to make sure this continues today, but this is looking bad. Sierra, down for Georges, fires it across, and Martin's there, and it's off the bar, and it's put over the line by Thor Christiansen, of all people. That is not what I expected to score. His first goal for the club, and boy, did we need that to bail us out late on. Honestly, for me, it's still a game we should have won. We didn't really concede many opportunities yet again in this game, as we pretty much do all season, but we just could not take them. But thankfully, at least we managed to get out here with a draw, thanks to Thor Christiansen scoring his first goal for the club. But we just had no real momentum going forward in this one, and it's an unfortunate another point drop. We do now, of course, sacrifice the lead of the league, but do still have games in hand, of course. But it's just, you can't win every game, of course, but we are continuing this run of looking very good in every game, and I think if we just continue to do that over the full season, we will get the results. We've been fantastic in literally every game this season, I would say, or at least very good. One of our slight problems is without the ability to rotate Juan Martin in and out as easily as perhaps we should be able to, because we just don't have the players there. That's definitely causing us problems, and Noj, again, today, a couple of one-on-one opportunities, straight at the goalkeeper, doesn't attempt to do anything, just straight at the keeper. He's very hit and miss, but it's what we've got at the moment. So we do slip to 4th with that. We actually lose 3 places, but of course we are still within those 2 games in hand, which would still see us push our gap back up to being top of the league again, but we've still got to play those games at some point. Martin could look up, fires it through for Noji. Come on, he's in this time. He's round the goalkeeper. He's gone around the goalkeeper. My friends, it is visible and it has happened. I know he did technically sort of in the last video, but that is for me the most blatant example of him actually going around the keeper, and we lead. Martin, oh, lovely for Sierra. He just has to drill this for someone. Surely there's a pass on there. Noj! Haha, it's 2. Istvan Noj, another one for him. 14 for the season now for the young Serbian striker. Both him and Varga called up for Serbia as well. Kouassi fires one across, and Jaferovic is there, and it's over the line from Christiansen. Back-to-back goals in back-to-back games for the centre-back, and now it's 3-0 at half-time. Okay, now we are starting to respond a little bit, thank God. Usage. Oh, it's actually going to come down to Menduga here. Got a bit of speed on him, and Faye's actually in. We need a big save from Mafla here, and we, of course, don't get it because goalkeepers don't exist in this game when they're playing for us. It's 3-1. Young Dean's always just taking up lovely positions. Ball in, and Noj is there, and that is 4, and I think that is going to count. It is. It's a hat-trick for Istvan Noj. He has really stepped up today. Great cross in as well, I think, from Young Dean. 4-1, thoroughly deserved. Just another one of those demolition jobs, really. Hat-trick for Noj. Great goal from Christensen. Concede a goal that where they're just, I don't know. It does just kind of feel like no matter who we put in goal in this team, they just seem to, like, obviously I can't expect them to say everything, and it seems that in order to actually score against us, teams do need to create a really good chance, and they do seem to get one occasionally, but it does just feel like goalkeepers for us just don't seem to actually save anything, whereas we're having the same quality of chances at the other end and they're constantly being saved, and I just don't know what we have to do about that. But luckily we're scoring enough goals for it to not matter at the moment. But my goodness me, it's just goalkeepers just standing there and being like, there you go, have a shot, after you, sir. But it doesn't matter as we go back to the top of the league, and this was one of our games in hand as well, which is really, really important. Obviously that means the other teams have had a bit of a rest in that period, but at the very least it does allow us to go back to the top, and we could extend that gap to 4 points if we can win that other game in hand, which I believe is against Hammarby though. Which again, very deep this time, but he's certainly better to provide a pass potentially. It's going to come back to him anyway. It's Martin. He's through, and this time there is no mistake. We deserve that. We've missed the penalty already. Great passing play so far. We have been all over Westeros. The best I've seen us play against these guys since we took over. Well, in the end, we get away with the 1-0. Honestly, Mafla did have to make a couple of stops, did the job for us today. It's another one of these games where we definitely should have scored more goals. The penalty miss obviously is a huge factor in that, but we did get a victory, another one at home, which is important, against, well, not really a rival, but a good side in this league too. Martin had a great game out there too. Noj struggled in front of goal, but he did get a hat-trick last time out. It's another underperformance in front of goal, but at least a better defensive display today in terms of actually keeping the clean sheet. But still, we rarely ever have games where our opponents get over 1 XG's worth of chances, and that for me is a really good sign about what we're doing defensively. We just need Mafla to be able to save those chances when they actually do get them, and it still looks very, very good for us. We're still statistically running the board at the moment, and that's what we want. The gap at the top does remain just a singular point, but of course we still have that game in hand. Goal difference continues to be looking relatively tasty right now, and the most important thing, of course, is that we're top of the league, and that's really what matters at the moment. We just need to keep on plugging away, getting wins. We're unbeaten in our first 9 games of the season. We've won 7. I mean, I'm not sure what more we can do at this point, other than, I guess, win all of them. But that's unlikely to happen. We can definitely be more on the counter-attack than we would normally. Vaca fires it in. Varga! Yes! Rebru 1, Djurgården 0. Igor Varga starts a game, scores a goal, and I tell you what, these two look like they actually might be able to play together. Come on. Oh no, please not a 95th minute equalizer. Like, I think a 1-1 draw is probably fair on the night. It's just a shame because it's like, I actually still think we defended fairly well in places. Obviously, the penalty was responsible for a lot of their attacking output as well. The fact that Mafla saved it was brilliant. That should have been a win for us, really. In the sense that we shouldn't be conceding goals in the 95th minute. We've done that too much. And it's just like, and it's always the same type of goal as well. We have defensive set piece training. I've tried shuffling the players around. We have the tallest players marking the key areas for the most part. I think maybe things got mucked up, though, because of the red card, potentially. So that might have been a factor in there. It's just annoying because I thought we'd escaped, but it is what it is. Frustrating, though, especially as we now drop back to 2nd place in the league again, as our opponents will not stop winning currently. At least we've managed to sort of halt Djurgården a little bit, but the win against them would have been so damn big. We'd have been 7 clear of them with a game in hand. Today wasn't really a game that we can complain too much about. We've got through a game against a big opponent, and we haven't lost. So that keeps us unbeaten. We still look very good, and that's all I can really ask for from the guys. It's just one of those days, eh? But fair play to Mafla. Great penalty stop. Oh, there's a bit of space for Young. He could bend it. Oh, he thought about it. I could tell. Ndai, lovely finish off the post there. That is a great finish from Ndai. And is it offside? What? Who? Are you joking? Are you actually joking? I have a bone to pick with that. Young Dean looks up, plays the pass to Martin, who is not offside, who then drops it back to Ndai, who's not offside, who then shoots around a player who is not offside. How can that possibly be offside? Like, there was a guy stood in an offside position when the original pass to Juan Martin was made, but he's not interfering with the play. Kiriakou pops it through the middle. I just can't see how that was off. I'm sure I'm missing something there. But that just looked like absolute corruption, honestly. Young Dean, ball in, and Ndai knocks it down. Penalty? What is going on in this game? That's not a penalty. Nothing happened. Kouassi now, from the spot, scores. Did the referee have like a bet on us to score first from the penalty spot or something? Because it certainly feels like it. Rebru 1, Sirius 0. I guess it's justice, but what on earth was that? Nomad noises intensify. Young Dean fires it through. It's Darbo, brings it down brilliantly. Great finish, great goal, 2-0, thoroughly deserved. That's a great pass from Young Dean as well. He's just, as I said before, maturing like crazy. I'll show him before the next game. And yet another brilliant attacking output. Defensively pretty solid today, actually. Kept the clean sheet, which is important. Really needed that. Mafla did have to make a really good save down to his left as well, so a good clean sheet from him. Obviously, the penalty, that was such a weird game. Having that goal disallowed for what I can still work out as no reason, although I haven't had another look at it yet. And then getting a penalty for what I can seem like no reason either. But the fact is, we get the 2-0 victory. We do go back to the top of the league. It's another clean sheet, and that's now from our last 4 home games, a 10-point run, which is really, really very important. Also, amazingly, we have a 5th consecutive home game in the league after the FC Copenhagen Cup final, and that's against Skövde. So if we could go 13 from 15 points, that'd be a really nice, just nice to get some points on the board. Because with that, we are now level on games played. We move 2 points above EFK with 3 points above Hammarby. Goal difference is definitely in the good books there. And 7 clear of Djurgården. So that is good to keep them in the mud. Because I still think they're the most dangerous side. Although part of me feels like Hammarby might be a real contestant this year too. I've rested a few players for this. We got through this game without Noj as well. It's FC Copenhagen in the Conference League final. Can we get European silverware midweek? Let's do this. Here we are. UEFA Europa Conference League final. We just bloody love these. And the fact that it's an all Scandi one is genuinely amazing. Particularly when you consider that Nordic actually won this competition last year, which is just kind of mad too. I don't know who they beat in the final. What on earth? Holy God. Hang on a minute. Sorry, we just had like Scandi domination here. Norrköping in the final. When was the last time there wasn't a Scandi side? There you go. 3 years before there wasn't a Scandi side in the final. Norrköping at the moment got to the final. They're bottom of the league at the moment in... Wow. This is mad. An all-Danish final there too. No wonder Denmark have slipped up the coefficient so much. I assume they must have done. Sunday the 22nd. They actually lost 3-2 at home. Away at Vejle. Bear in mind, FC Copenhagen are a bit of a weird one at the moment. As you can see, they're not the team they used to be back when we were managing in Denmark. That is for sure. Their finishes, as of late, have been utterly shocking, if I recall. I mean, look at this. This is basically after we left. 2nd, 4th, 3rd, 5th, 2nd, 4th. By their standards, this is bad, is what I'm saying. Let's also not forget that Vejle won the league last season. Really should. I think I pointed that out in a video, but I had to take it out for time. Yeah, that's the thing that happened. So enjoy that. As for who we play today, well, you know that certain players can't come in. Mabasso, Christensen, Mafla all have to come out, but luckily, we still have my man, Makacek. Wait, hang on. My Martins needed a rest. I took him off super early. He cannot not rest this game. We need to have him in the team. Arona and I did rest Noj for the whole of the last match, so that's good. Rodriguez and Sierra can come in because Kiriakou is probably dead. Well, not dead, but very close to it. But luckily, Pablo Rodriguez is also fantastic, which is really nice to see. So Amion will have to come in there. Surely young Dean could... No, he's a bit dead as well. Bloody hell. It's not ideal, but we just had no choice but to do this. Hopefully, they'll be just as dead as we are. But the point is, their form should be way worse than ours, which is hopefully going to help. But on the topic of young Dean, I don't like seeing that bit at the very end there. He's improving slowly. He's on the training. I've got working on his weak foot as well. He's just getting used to the role more than anything else. He's training really well, which is a good thing. Like regularly putting in high 8s, low 9s, which is good. I think it's just going to take him a little while to finally start to turn that over. We're seeing the upward arrows, which is the main thing. His jumping reach, interestingly, is going up a lot as well. Mental's obviously on the improvement, nice to see. Haven't seen that like blistering improvement that we were really hoping for, but maybe it's just a case with players that come through that are so good already. Maybe it just takes a little bit longer. There's a bit of inertia to sort of get that going. So yeah, they are looking a little bit worse for wear, but not looking horrendous, to be honest. But hey, here we are, under the lights. I actually don't know where this stadium is. Their manager is called Steven Zarp Albrechtsen, which I like. They've gone for a very defensive system. Not won a lot of games lately, whereas we very much have. You can see our record lately is much, much better than theirs. We just need the likes of Noj to continue. We just need to get more goals. You know what we can do? If we score 3 today, remember, that will get us to 69 goals in this tournament in a single season. We're already 7 past the record. Unfortunately, already a booking for Arona and I. 2 minutes into the game. What are you doing 2 minutes into a match to get booked already? Oh, just wide of the post by Elton as well. Our opponents have started quite strongly so far, considering this is the team that put 11 goals past Rangers. Whereas our opponents, then again, they did beat Spurs, home and away. So they clearly got some kind of quality in there, and it's headed at goal, and Makacek is equal to it. Wow, this is a start and a half. Very fast start from FC Copenhagen. What on earth was that? That does not fill me with confidence when you've got players randomly hurling the ball to nobody when there's unmarked bodies around them, as Makacek is forced to make yet another stop in the opening 6 minutes. Skipping it through the midfield. Firing it into the channel again. Kivimeki is causing him all sorts of problems so far. Hopefully Makacek can be equal to whatever's thrown at him again, and he is. And now a corner as well. It's very much been a very strong start from FC Copenhagen as well. It's the back post ones. Even though I feel like I put the strongest defender there, I'll have to have a look at that, because that seems to be the one now. It used to be the near post, now it's the back post. When they do get it in good positions, though, they are taking their chances, ball through the centre here, and it's a good save from Makacek again, but we can't keep putting him in these positions. It's only 1-0. That's the key thing. It is only 1-0. We've come back before. It can happen again. Nosh finally starting to get some stuff through the lines, getting some bodies forward. Pablo Rodriguez fires it in there. It's come down, and it's poked off the post! Oh my God, it's a great effort at least. That's more like it. The only thing is nobody's even playing that badly at the moment. Oh, it's deflected. Juan Martin, he's in! And he's drilled it at the goalkeeper, but it's another good save from Pinios. But at least it's chances. We definitely have looked better over the past 10 minutes. Started to get a little bit more into the game. That's more like it. I did just try to focus through the middle a bit more and turned off the work ball in the box because we were just getting too much possession to the point where I think we were just dicking about with the ball and not actually making proactive sort of runs through. As Nodge is in, and surely this time he scores, and I think that's going to be offside. I don't know. I think that is offside, unfortunately. Oh dear. It was a lovely pick out though, and I think that might be our way through them. Just try to find those passes to Nodge if he can stay onside. Wait, is that just given? It's just given. I'm so sorry. He didn't put his arms up, and I thought the referee had his flag up. But no, it is 1-1 here. What a pick out from Darbo, but that is the kind of play we need. Noj in behind, simple finish from him. Right, okay, I think we've found our way through them now, which is that central run, and it's 1-1 here. Deserved. Right, so half-time. Analytical data. Can you sort of see the... Yeah, you can sort of see. So it was around about here when I made that change after they'd scored their goal. All I did was I turned off the work ball in the box. We were sitting on the ball without doing anything with it. And I find sometimes if you just give them more freedom, it helps. I also focused play through the middle, and we did start to create a few chances with that. And obviously the big one being Nodge's goal that actually sends us into, I would say, a deserved equaliser at that point, if nothing else. You can see they're keeping a lot of the possession in their wide area. So I wonder if we press their fullbacks, especially, we might be able to get a bit more joy off them too, because it seems to be that they're very much using those areas of the pitch. But Obeng has looked very good. I'm going to go after him as well, because he's just completing a lot of passes, sat at the base of their midfield, and I want to make sure that we get someone in on him quickly, so he doesn't have the opportunity to do that. In the second half, I'm going to have Ndai sit on Obeng, just so you can push him slightly further up, and just try and get in on him a little bit more when they're in possession, especially, so that there's just someone there to hopefully disrupt their play a little bit more. So you can see, in the midfield here, Ndai is pushed much further up towards Obeng to stop him from receiving that pass in key position. Now, obviously, it's going to leave us a bit light in other areas, potentially, but it should allow us to help us on the counter-attack, because he'll be in that exact position right there. That's exactly what I wanted as well. Nodge is in behind. Could this be a key moment for us? Nodge has missed the target, but that right there, that's what I'm looking for. Got to watch out for that. There we go. Oh, I say there we go. He's actually done quite poorly. His Kivimeki's through, and... Well, that's unfortunate, really, because I don't think they did a lot wrong there. They won the tackle, and then the ball just bounced straight into the path of the FC Copenhagen striker anyway. It's 2-1 to FCK now. That's frustrating. But I don't know really what we could have done about that, honestly. Like, the pass it's literally intercepted by Trifunovic, and it somehow still goes through to the guy. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't think Makacek can do anything about that. And I think we can do it. As Nodge is in behind again. Nodge? Oh, he's gone too wide. What's he doing? Ball around. But now! Oh, that's not the man you want taking that shot on. If anything, slip that across to Juan Martin for a tap-in. Kouassi fires it in. Martin Tena has gone wide of the post. Oh, it's not going to be our day, is it? Kouassi to Dudau. He's got that run, though, for Varga, but that's just a terrible, terrible pass. Just allowing him no work there. Varga pulls it back. Kouassi! Oh, come on! Hit the target, man! Yeah, I don't think there's a lot more we could have done other than take our chances in this game. I think we were definitely as good as them. They just got a little bit... They just got a bit fortunate with the breaks, really, in the game. And that's the win. FC Copenhagen 2, Örebro 1. Yeah, they scored the goals. We didn't. That's what it came down to. They had a great start to the match. I think we made the right changes at the right time and got ourselves right back into this and did shut them down quite a lot. But then with just that, not even the missed tackle from Trifunovic, the successful tackle that still ended up with them with the ball just completely cost us. Little things, there's tiny margins, especially when you look at where our shots were from. We were targeting quite good areas. In the second half, really, the one chance they got was that, the one chance that was like, okay, yeah, big chance, was their goal. We had other chances in there and should have done better. You can see that we sort of did manage to shut Obeng down a little bit, other than he did have certainly an impact for their second goal. It's one of these games where we needed to take our chances better and we didn't, and that has cost us. It was just we had several really good opportunities where we missed the target with chances and didn't test their goalkeeper, although we did still test him a few times. That's what really did the issue for us. Just missing those key opportunities in this match was the reason. Hawkinson playing as an auxiliary left wing back at the moment. Don't know how he's going to cope with this, but he's flying down the left as much as this man can fly. We've all seen Dumbo. He's gone through the back of him, though. It's Varga. Can he pull it across for Darbo? And it is a goal from Dumbo to Darbo. Örebro 1, Skövde 0. We need that, because I thought we might be suffering from the consequences of losing that final. But 1-0. Well, they just stood off of Nilsson a little bit there, which is concerning. Don't give this away here, lads. Please, no. Oh, there's a look at the space in the middle for Flo. And, oh, for God's sake. The more things change, the more they stay the same. We've heard the story. Control the game, control possession, control the chances, didn't take them, concede out of nothing. You could write that could be like the tagline to the Örebro story. Basically, they get a chance, they score. If we get a chance, we have about 7 of them and don't score, and eventually we might get 1. We do stay top, but it is only on goal difference now, and the gap is only 4 points with them, well, between us and Hammarby, but at least that's something. It could have been 6, though. And it is only 12 games. We're not even at the halfway stage yet, but we now have the World Cup break coming up, which will give us a chance to reset. The point is, here am I complaining? We're top of the league. That's the most important thing. We are top of the league right now, but it could have been so much more, and we should be much further clear than we are, but at least we're making steady progress, I suppose. Last time around, we were probably sitting down here thinking, why aren't we top of the league, when we probably should have been. At the moment, we're still doing all the right things, but I'm honestly tempted to start the other goalkeeper for a run of matches after the World Cup, honestly, because Mafla just doesn't save anything. So a couple of little bits to catch you up on. We've been doing a lot of the sort of summer break point. We've got a game against Hammarby in a second, which is annoying because it's during the World Cup, and we are going to be missing a few players for it, including Juan Martin, which is just one of those things. I sold Trifunovic to Wolfsburg for £1.9 million. His contract was up at the end of the season. We wanted to try and get rid of him in January. Wasn't quite going to work out, but to get £2 million nearly for him now rather than nothing at the end of the season felt like a smart piece of business from us, honestly. But I have, however, given a new deal to Kiriakou, so his release clause has gone from like 10 million now to 17.5 million. It's still too low for my liking, but they insisted upon it, and it was grayed out the moment I went into the contract negotiations. So he got a little wage bump, but it has bumped his release clause by £7 million. So I guess that's something, right? Pakistan. Okay, he should be in a good position to get a block in from there. Great tackle from Rodriguez, and it's a penalty anyway. Are you joking? Not expecting to see Mafla save another penalty, and he doesn't, and we trail to Hammarby. We've been genuine crap in this game. It seems like ever since we lost the final, the players just can't remember how to play football. First sort of genuinely bad performance of the season. We played like shite, honestly. I mean, there was 6.1s being put in all over the shot. I don't know how Dudal grabbed himself up to 6.4. He was down in the dumps as well. Obviously, the penalty was nonsense. Never should have been given, but it is what it is. You just have to deal with that. We didn't create anything in this game. Nothing that Mafla could really do about it. I accidentally put him in again as well. I did make some slight changes to our defending of set pieces as well. I noticed that actually our centre-backs are actually dealing with most of the stuff. It's when they make a late run and it requires one of the go-back players to deal with it. And I found that it was falling to Darbo often to be the man there, and he's too short to deal with that. So I've moved it on to someone who's a bit more heighty to try to help with that. And it seemed to work today, but Hammarby were just way better than us, and we were trash. We've done well to get to this point in the season where we are, and we're still in a good spot. But we should be much further clear, as it is. At least we're actually in the title race this time around. But, yeah, from where it was to where it is, it's starting to look a bit dodgy now. Hopefully we can just get our heads down now. We've got another week off to rest things up. We'll get the players back from the World Cup, get back into the league fixtures across the summer where it starts to even out a little bit in terms of, you know, not every single week do we have to play 7 damn matches. So that will hopefully allow us to get ourselves back going again before the relatively easy early rounds of the Conference League. We're either playing a Maltese or a Kazakhstani side, so we should be okay for those. Guassi fires across in. Makele off the post, and it's in, and it's actually not him. It's Thore Christensen with the goal. We need to win this one. I know it's a tough one away at Malmo, but we have to get back to winning, even without Noj. Pops it over the top. Oh, God, this is going to be straightforward, isn't it? Oh, come on, goalkeeper. Once again, I forgot to take out Mafla. All right, that's it. I can't. It's a good opportunity for us here, potentially. Kawasi, he just needs to find the right person on the end of this, and he's found usage and over the line, and finally put over the line by, would you believe it, Christiansen, for the second time today, has bailed us out here. I can't believe we missed the first chance there, but we do lead again. They just had to deliver a better pass than that, because now Christensen's all over the shop. They're all completely through. Denise is at a tight angle here. He's gone around the goal. Oh, for God's sake. Young D now fires another one in. Martin! And it's somehow not over the line. Are you kidding me? I know it's a tight angle, but good God, he could have had a hat-trick tonight, honestly, Christensen. It's another game where we can't win. We cannot win football matches at the moment. Mafla is not starting anymore. I know I've said that a couple of times now. I just keep forgetting when we get into matches, but it is actually ridiculous now. The sheer number of chances we're letting in versus scoring. Ironically, it's actually not been as bad as you might think. It looks bad, but actually, we're only just slightly under the sort of efficiency on that thing. But our biggest issue in matches lately has just not been able to score enough. Today actually was pretty good from that with Christensen, but without Noj in the strike for, I don't know, we just don't look like the same side ever since losing that Conference League final. We just don't seem to have recovered at all. And now we slip to third in the league. We're 5 points off the top. We could have been 6 points clear at one point today, but we just cannot win matches that we should be winning. Like, no defense on the last game. That was just an absolute nightmare. But today was much better, and we still didn't get the result. And so the World Cup is over. Brazil win the World Cup in the end, beating South Africa in the final. South Africa actually reached the final in 2034 as well, so this is not the first time for them. Kiriakou, finally a little bit of space to look up. He's found Kouassi. It's a great first touch from Kouassi. He's gone first time, and we finally lead him. I say finally lead in the match, as if we haven't already done that and thrown it away. Today, though, is must win. We need that confidence back. See that ball on the back post, I think, from Martino. Kiriakou's header, and it's put over the line by Noj. I think that's actually going to count. It is. It's 2-0. Noj returns to the side after the World Cup and returns to the side with a goal. 2-0 up, and I just feel better. Fires one through Zetterberg. Oh, he can turn this inside. He does. It's Noj. He's in again, and he slots it home with aplomb. It's 3-0. 19th of the season for Isvan Noj. Now comes back into the team after the World Cup, scores a brace against BK Häcken, and we just look like a totally different side again. But that was much, much more like it from us there. Going forward, created chances, scored the goals. For once, we actually overperformed. Defensively, absolutely solid as a rock. Davison did everything he needed to do. He only made one save in this game, admittedly, but he looked really stable on the ball. His distribution was good. So fair play to him. First proper start for him, I would say, and he's actually done really, really well there. Gets the clean sheet. It's exciting to see he's going to keep his position after that, because we look better. Just nice having Noj back, honestly. We really, really did miss him and some of the other guys at the World Cup too. That definitely made a difference, but it can't have been, like, Vargas still a great player, so it shouldn't have been that bad. And with that, unfortunately, we do stay third, as Hammarby got a couple of late ones. We stay 5 points off the top, as EFK Göteborg just will not stop winning football matches. We have got a 5-point gap now back to 4th place Djurgården, which is something, I suppose. We're still very much in this at the halfway stage in the season. We're well above 2 points a game, which is the target I always set for these things, I just don't see how EFK can carry on being this good for this long, because I don't think they're anywhere near statistically the best too. So as you can see, we're kind of doing what we need to be doing for the most part here. You can see that, again, the XGA is much better than it was last year. That was one of our biggest pitfalls last year, was being so far behind on that. It's definitely got better. Although we are conceding so few of them, it does make it look worse at times. So I don't think Mafla's entirely to blame and hasn't been appalling, but I have seen a few mistakes of his that have cost us goals. I don't know how they're doing what they're doing. They're 11 points better off than they should be already. It's mad how good they've been in terms of actually just turning bad results into good ones. So fair play to them on that one. You can see, though, we are certainly hitting the marks. But this year, it's been more about our inability to score enough goals when we should do. And I think that's cost us points more than the defensive side of things has at times this year. Last year, we were kind of flat on that one. This year, we started well, but started to fall away a little bit. And that's a bit of a concern. When you look at advanced goalkeepers, you can see though that Mafla still is very much in the poor shot stopping, fewer shots saved kind of zone. Now, obviously, we don't have the stats for Davidson yet, but I'd be very curious to see where, after a certain period of time, once we've got enough stats to see how Davison sits, whereabouts he actually sits on this. I'd like to see him at least be up sort of here. Because when you look at how many keepers are clustered up here, I suspect they're the keepers for a lot of the top clubs. And clearly, this is an issue for us. So, yeah, definitely does need to be looked at. Because actually, he's not there. He's down here. And that's concerning. He's still at -2 nearly. Lots of other ties in there too. It's not going to be easy. And I still think we can do it. But it is going to require EFK to actually, like, start playing like the team that they actually are in matches. And for us to just catch some of that back up again. We need Nordic to go on, like, a good run of scoring. Because at the moment, he's got 10 in 15, which is still good, but it's not the kind of record he was at last year, and we need him to be pushing towards that. He's been less prolific than last year, and that's a concern. But anyway, if you have enjoyed this, despite the defeats and the frustrations at times, it's all good fun, isn't it? Then drop a like, that'd be lovely. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, that'd be sick too. I stream on Twitch Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so go follow there too, and I'll see you guys soon. Hold your gun, capybara, bye-bye.